it going, everybody? Welcome to General Hospital Envy, my GH After Show. I'm going to keep it a little bit shorter this week, but let's get into it. Nina came face to face with Mike this week, and it went exactly how I thought it would. She didn't tell Sonny that she knew who he was. She did call Carly to tell her, but then Carly had to be Carly and act like a bitch and ruined it for herself, so Nina decided not to tell her, and honestly, I don't blame her. To be fair, Ava did get in Carly's face a little bit earlier and said that she was going to encourage Nina to go after custody of Wiley because grandmothers have rights, but still, when she called Carly, it didn't seem like she was going to threaten that, so why Carly got all defensive for no reason was beyond me. It's on you, Carly. I do feel a little bit sorry for Sonny because he's encouraging Nina to go against his wife without knowing it, and when he does finally remember, he's going to be pissed, and so is Phyllis, by the way. Nina is not going to have any friends left after this, man. Now, Carly, she's got other things to worry about. Of course, her best friend, Jason, is still sitting in a jail cell as the #1 suspect in Franco's murder. Britt actually manages to sneak into the PCPD as his doctor and check in on him, and they have a little bit of a moment. She has her hand trembling and he notices it and holds it for her. I love how frustrated Britt was over Jason being so calm about being in jail and being framed for murder. She's just like, I don't understand you, Jason. And Jason's like, this is just another day in the life for me, man. By the way, Sam saw that hand-holding moment and she didn't seem to freak out too much. She just wanted to check in on him to see if he's okay. He does tell her that Peter is the one that framed him for the murder. Britt and Sam have a moment in the elevator at the hospital later on and say that they have to work together, so that's kind of exciting. I'm here for it. I just hope that Britt gets that hand checked because I actually really am terrified for the character. I don't want her to die. I'm just really starting to like her, you guys. I never thought I'd like Britt this much. Anyway, so more and more people are realizing that Peter is the one that killed Franco. It takes Anna a whole ass week to go to Jordan and tell her the theory as well. But at least someone did. Amazingly, as close as Jordan and Jason have been working together over the last year, she was so convinced that he was the one that killed him. All in favor of Max Scorpio becoming the new police commissioner because at this rate, he's probably the better one out of the two. Not that his track record was better back in the day, but at least it would be a step up, you know? Anyway, the good news is more people know, so that's very hopeful for Jason, you know, just as long as Carly doesn't mess things up. And yes, she's probably about to. Now, as you guys know, Gladys, who is Brando's mom, is the witness that pointed her finger at Jason in the first place. Brando told Michael, and Michael called Carly when she happened to be next to Cyrus, who was wanting to make a deal with her. Carly gets into Cyrus's face and says that she knows that he put Gladys up to it, but he says, I'll make you a deal. I will get her to recant her statement if you let my mom go, and Carly is probably willing to do that to get Jason out of jail. She even goes over to Jason and says that she's going to get him out no matter what. Now clearly, if Carly lets his mom go, not only do they lose their leverage against Cyrus, but they are indebted to him. And that is not a good place for Jason to be. Especially because right now, Taggart in a good position to possibly get free with Cyrus being held at bay. Taggart's hearing is either supposed to be tomorrow or sometime this week, and he's either going to plead guilty or not guilty. Everyone is encouraging him to not plead guilty because of the fact that Cyrus is being held at bay. So things could change if Carly manages to take that deal with Cyrus. Y'all better work fast. Moving on, can somebody please fill Elizabeth in on the Peter theory because she is so sure that Jason did it, and Cameron is aware that Jason is in jail and he wants to do whatever it takes to make Jason pay. Thankfully, Laura stepped in and she takes Cameron over to see Curtis at his new nightclub, and Trina happens to be there too, and she encourages him to take out his anger, not on Jason, but in his art form. Apparently Cameron is so talented that he managed to write and perform a song on the spot about his pain about losing Franco. Believability aside, it was a fantastic performance by William Lipton. He is so talented. Speaking of which, on a side note here, on Monday, it was my grandmother's birthday, and as you guys know, all my family are huge GH fans, and so I got William Lipton to sing her happy birthday for her birthday.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Margaret. Happy birthday to you. Happy Happy birthday, Margaret. It's William Lipton here from General Hospital, and I just wanted to wish you a very, very happy birthday.
Not that I expect William Lipton to watch the show, but if you are, thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. Honestly, at first when I showed her the video, she just thought I was showing her a video of him singing, and then she heard her name and she freaked out. Her reaction was priceless. Anyway, back to it. Let's talk about Peter. This man is like an annoying fly that just won't buzz off. He shows up at Maxie's apartment acting all concerned because Dante had just attacked him and he's worried for Maxie. Maxie, of course, lets him in the door because he mentioned Dante, and he's like, well, Dante tried to kill me for your sake, but I was concerned for you. And Britt called him out on that, which I appreciated. She's like, so you decided to come to the door instead of calling the police to warn them to protect Maxie? Wow. I seriously love Britt. And then Robert shows up and he's just pissed off about that too. Maxie convinces Peter to leave, but Robert's like, how on earth did he even get in the door, Maxie? Apparently scheming Maxie is back in Port Charles, and her plan is to basically make him think that he has a chance with her, and then she's going to lower the boom somehow. Not that I think it's going to work, but I'm kind of glad that scheming Maxie is back. Anyway, after that, Peter runs into Valentine and Olivia at the Metrocourt, and he whines to Valentine about making Maxie betray him this way. And then he gets into Olivia's face and yells at her for Dante coming after him. She, of course, rushes to the hospital to find him because that's where Sam took him. We'll get into that later. The next day, Peter shows up to Maxie's Lamaze class as if she wants him there, trying to take the class with her, and Britt's just like, dude, get out. She doesn't want you here. Get out. Give her some space. That is what she is asking you for, and you won't give her it. He is acting more like Faison every day. Someone needs to do something about this man. The last thing Maxie needs is a man coming after her for decades over his obsession with her. Just ask Anna how that turned out. He truly is his father's son. Someone needs to kill this man. I don't want Maxie to go through this. Okay, now back to Dante. Apparently, all it took for Dante to get rid of the brainwashing was one overnight session with Kevin Collins. All those months away from Lulu and Rocco, and all it took to get rid of his brainwashing and PTSD was one session with a local psychiatrist. Are you joking me? I mean, yes, the WSB obviously had ill intentions, but they didn't know that Peter was a bad man at that point, I don't think. That didn't come out till a little bit later, so what exactly was their game plan? Also, I'm a little bit confused because he doesn't bring up Dr. Obrecht at all. Has he just been in a trance the entire time? Like, I don't understand the point of the clicking pen if he doesn't remember anything with Obrecht in the first place. I'm so confused. Maybe the brainwashing isn't actually over with. Anyway, Olivia thanks Sam for bringing him there and being such a supportive friend. I think that she ships Sante. Let me know if y'all ship Sante in the comments. Okay, let's talk about Brooklyn. She has been keeping a couple of cards very close to the chest, although one of them was figured out pretty quickly by Ned and Michael. They realized that Brooklyn intends on using the baby to get Valentine to bring ELQ back into the family. Side note, my favorite scenes with Brooklyn this week is that she reunited with Chase, and obviously she reveals that she's pregnant, and for a second she convinces him that she wants him to pretend to be the father, and then she laughs. I was just like, this is why I love their friendship. Obviously we've seen a lot more of their friendship with the recast because she was on for a lot longer, but they do seem to have really good chemistry as well. Now Brooklyn seems to have some other secrets, and I'm not exactly sure what exactly that is because she ends up taking the same Lamaze class as Maxie and Britt, and when Britt and Maxie have questions about her childcare, Brooklyn stays very quiet about it. Like they're just trying to suggest other OBGYNs, and Brooklyn's like, I got it covered, and just kind of cuts them off. For a hot second, I was actually wondering if Brooklyn's actually pregnant at all, but also there was a point where I thought that she might be pregnant with twins. Some other people seem to think that there's going to be a baby swap between Brooklyn's baby and Maxie's baby, and I have to just shake my head because Maxie's been pregnant for over a year. I know that the timing can be a little bit off because technically we found out she was pregnant in March, which really aired in May, but then the show came back in August and kind of carried on from where it was, so the timing is just really confusing. If I have this in my head correctly, then maybe Maxie got pregnant in August and the baby will be due in May, but then Brooklyn's only 5 months pregnant now, so I feel like she has to give the baby a little bit after Maxie, you know? Here's hoping, because I don't want to deal with another baby switch. We've seen too much of that over the last few years with just Wiley alone. This is one storyline I don't wish to repeat ever again. Any baby swap, period. Anyway, one scene that I totally saw coming is that Valentine had to tell Charlotte that he is expecting another child, and of course she was not happy about it. I don't know why Valentine thinks that she would be. I mean, maybe if the baby was Nina, she'd feel a little bit differently, but that is clearly not the case. Yikes. It turns out that after all this time, Charlotte is still a demon child. Seriously, what a brat. Alright, the only other things worth noting on the show is that Lucas and Felix had a bit of a flirtation this week, but I'm honestly not hopeful that we're gonna get much of a story with those two. We barely see them as it is. The other noteworthy scene is that Laura realized that Martin's birthday was a few days ago and she decides to get him a birthday cake, and it was a really sweet scene, and then of course Cyrus steps in and ruins it. Anyway, that's all I got, but before I let you go, this Wednesday will be the last Wednesday of Cassadine month, and we're going to be reacting to some of the scenes from the original Valentine Cassadine story from way back in 2009. We're going to see how the character was really supposed to be. So stay tuned for that. If you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, and I will catch you guys this Wednesday. Peace out.